everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zara and today I'm going to be doing my book haul for May, June and July. There are a lot of books, way too many books than any one person should buy over the course of 3 months, but hey, we're just gonna go with it. Before I start, I apologize for my incredibly creased shirt. I am wearing a linen shirt and I couldn't be bothered to iron it, so just gonna go with it. All right, so let's go through my May books. If you see me looking in that direction, it's because I have my laptop, so I'm not just looking at a wall. All right, so in the month of May, I got, oh, this is over May and June. I didn't separate them, my bad. So in the month of May and June, I got Before They Are Hanged by Joe Abercrombie and The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. These are the broken binding editions. They are so pretty. I now have them on my shelves. Then I got Wolfbane by Michelle Paver. This is the Goldsboro edition. Now this is the, I don't know what number book it is, but it's part of the Chronicles of Ancient Darkness series, which is a series that I read when I was growing up. It is a, I don't know if it's middle grade. I think it's maybe in between middle grade and young adult, but it's such a good story. I loved it when I was growing up. And then I found out that this book was coming out, and so I had to get it. And it's signed and it's a really beautiful edition. The next book I got was also from Goldsboro, and that is The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. This is the second book in the Shadow of the Gods trilogy. I don't know if that's actually the name of the trilogy. Not a series that I've started yet, but I'm really looking forward to because I've heard really great things. Next book I got was Half of a Yellow Sun by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She is a Nigerian author, I believe, and I've had so many recommendations for this book, specifically for this author, but I picked this book up because it sounded really interesting. And I think it's about a young woman as she falls in love with a married man in Nigeria, and it's just about her like trying to navigate that, if I remember correctly. So I can't wait to pick that up. And then the next book I got was The Steel Remains by Richard K. Morgan. Now I've been wanting to read Richard K. Morgan for a while now, and I've heard that series, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the series, but I've heard it's really trippy. And Richard K. Morgan seems like a really cool guy. I've watched a few interviews with him now, and I know he does some screenwriting, and I'm just really excited to pick it up. Maybe this year, we'll see. Then I got Mr. Palomar by Italo Calvino. Italo Calvino I came across because I was looking for more Italian authors to read. Italo Calvino came up as one of like the main ones, so I picked up Mr. Palomar because it's like a really short story, and I think it's one that I will enjoy. Then I also bought The Curse of Chalion by Lois McMaster Bujold. I read this in the month of May and I loved it, and I will continue to rave about it on my channel until the end of time. Then I got Emma by Jane Austen. I got the cloth-bound classics edition by Penguin because I love those editions. I'm getting all my Jane Austen books in those editions because I think they look really pretty. Then I got Stoner by John Williams. This was a recommendation from my friend Lorne. I also read this in June, I think it was. Loved it. Absolutely standout book. Surprise of the year for me, and still think about it to this day. Then I got Dead Things by Stephen Blackmore. This is the first book in an 8+ book urban fantasy series. A friend of mine, Matt, recommended it to me, and it's just a really nice short urban fantasy book. Each book is fairly self-contained story-wise, and it's just fun. Like, it's grimdark urban fantasy, which is something that I want to be reading more of, and I've been enjoying it so far. Then I got In the Shadow of Ruin by Tony DeBeo. Tony, I'm really sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. He sent this to me to read. It is an Afro-futuristic sci-fi book, and it sounds incredible. It is self-published, and I am planning to read it when I get back to the UK because I didn't bring it with me on holiday. But I definitely want to read it this year, so definitely not the type of vibe that I've normally picked up, not because I don't like it, just because I haven't been exposed to that type of story before, and I'm very excited to pick it up. Then I got secondhand The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft. Now, H.P. Lovecraft is a very interesting individual. I think he was into like eugenics, and he was super racist, and I swore to myself that I wouldn't buy his stuff brand new, but I really want to read his horror because I've heard really interesting things about it. So I saw it secondhand and I thought I would just pick it up because I think it's okay if you buy things like that secondhand. So you're not necessarily supporting the author in that way. But I'm excited to pick the book up because I've heard they're genuinely quite scary. Then I also got Temeraire by Naomi Novik secondhand because I haven't had the best experience with Naomi Novik so far, but I've heard like pretty decent things about Temeraire. It's a trilogy, and again, I saw it secondhand, so I thought, why not? And then this third book that I also got secondhand is by another problematic author, Cixin Liu, and that is The Three Body Problem. Now, everybody I know who has read this trilogy loves this series, but Cixin Liu is an author that I do not want to support with my money. And if you don't know why, go and Google and find out for yourself and educate yourself on why. But I saw it secondhand for like 50p and I thought, okay, I'm gonna potentially read it further down the line. And I would never buy his stuff brand new, but 50p, you know, it's okay. I don't know if I will ever actually pick it up, but I guess we'll see. Then I got the Full Metal Alchemist Omnibus Edition, volumes 1 to 3. Oh my gosh. Second surprise of the year for me. I will be doing a review of it soon and I cannot wait because I loved it. Then I got O. William by Elizabeth Stroud. So when I was in Edinburgh, I went to this really adorable bookshop and they had this kind of surprise book parcel thing, so you could just buy one of the books wrapped up and then you would know what it is obviously after you unwrapped it. And the book that I got in it was O. William, and I've heard like pretty good things about it. Then I got Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. The premise of this book sounds fascinating and can't wait to pick it up because I think it's a series that I think it's a book that I'm going to really love. Then I got Perdido Street Station by China Miéville, an author that I've been wanting to read for a long time, but I just haven't picked him up, and I'm very excited to pick up Perdido Street Station. It is very long though, so I think it's probably going to be a while till I get to it. Then I got Broken Souls by Stephen Blackmore. This is the second book in the Eric Carter urban fantasy series. Haven't read it yet, but I will be very soon. Then I got another self-published book of Honey and Wildfires by Sarah Chorn. A lot of my friends who like grimdark have recommended this book to me, and I have a feeling that I'm really going to love it. Then I got The Dragon's Path by Daniel Abraham. This is the first book in one of his other trilogies or quartets. I can never remember the name of it when I'm about to talk about it. This happened in one of my other videos as well, but I think I'm going to really love it because it's about a merchant and I love books about merchants. Don't know why, but it's my thing, so can't wait to pick it up. Then I got If on a Winter's Night, A Traveller by Italo Calvino, another book that I think I'm going to really enjoy. I saw it secondhand in my local bookstore and I had to pick it up because the premise sounds wonderful. Then I got June Messiah by Frank Herbert. June was a book that I read not last year but the year before that, and I really enjoyed it, but I have heard the second book is like an extension of the first book and it's quite short, so super excited to pick that up at some point this year. And then I got Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I really enjoyed Evelyn Hugo so much, one of the highlights of this year for me, and so I'm really curious to pick up some of her other stuff. I wasn't actually going to pick up this book, but then a friend of mine in one of the Discords said that he thought I would like it, so I thought, okay, fine, I'll pick it up. Then I got Book Lovers by Emily Henry. One of the few romances that I actually liked. Really good book, really enjoyed it. Female character was wonderful. A book about much more than just romance, and it was just so good. Then I got The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams. This was the Broken Binding edition. Really pretty. Those guys are killing it with their special editions. Really nice. Then I got Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. I read Of Mice and Men when I was younger in school. Didn't like it, but I love John Steinbeck as an author now, as an adult, and I've read a fair amount of his stuff. So I wanted to pick it up to give it another reread to see if I still hate it, because my guess is I probably won't. It's just that the way they teach you at school makes you hate things that you probably shouldn't hate. Then I got The Adamantine Palace by Stephen Diaz. This was recommended in one of the Discords that I'm in, and I love the cover because it had a dragon on it. And this was a total like vanity buy in that I literally just bought it because the cover was so cool, but it looks really great. The premise sounds really cool too. Then I got The Rose's Edge by W. Somerset Maugham. This is a book set in like 1920s New York, and it's following a young man as he figures out his life, trying to get into like high society, New York high society. Love that type of setting, love that type of book and story. So I'm really excited to pick that up. And then I got Full Metal Alchemist volumes 2, 3, and 4. So this is the second omnibus edition by Hiroma Arakawa, and I can't wait to continue deep diving into Full Metal Alchemist. Wonderful world. The only thing is that those omnibus editions are really hard to find, and they're really expensive when you buy them secondhand, but it is what it is. And then also on the topic of manga, I also got the volume 1 of Berserk by Kentaro Moira, which is a manga I'm really looking forward to getting to because I've heard it's very grimdark, and it's also complete, so there we go. All right, and then in the month of July, I got more stuff. I got Fables Compendium 1 by Bill Willingham. Cyril, shout out to Cyril, who I should also shout out for Full Metal Alchemist actually. But he recommended Fables to me because we've been having quite a lot of discussions on comics, because I've recently started to get into comics as well as manga. And he recommended Fables to me because it's like a grim dark take on the Fables and a lot of the kind of fairy tale stories that we know and love from when we grew up. And I just love the like twist on it, the concept of the twist on it, so I can't wait to pick that up. Then I got the Neil Gaiman collection. Amazon had a sale, and the books that were in it were Neverwhere, American Gods, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, Stardust, and Anansi Boys, and it was like super cheap, so I picked all those up too because I really need to read some Gaiman. And then I got The Bitter Twins by Jen Williams, which is the second book in the Broken Binding special editions for that trilogy. I don't actually remember the name of the trilogy, but another really stunning edition. Then I got Morning Star by Pierce Brown because I was reading Red Rising in the month of July, and I ended up blitzing through books 1 and 2, so I had to buy book 3 quickly so I could read it and finish that trilogy. But my gosh, what a wild ride. And then I got 5 Dresden File books by Jim Butcher. I can't remember which ones I got, but I got like, they were all secondhand in these like very cool editions that I've never seen. Most of the editions I see are with like the man on them, and I hate books with pictures of people on them. Very rarely do I like that, and this one doesn't have a picture of like any man or anybody on it. And I'll put some like examples, but I bought 5 of those because those were all they had, so I thought why not. And Dresden is a series I would like to get to at some point. Then I got The Painted Man by Peter V. Brett. I also got this secondhand. Peter V. Brett is a author that I've really been wanting to get to, so saw it secondhand, so why not. Then I got to Ride Hell's Chasm by Janie Wirtz. Now, I mainly got this because Joanna really loved this book, and I rate what she reads, and we have like similar-ish reading tastes, so I picked that up, and it's also a standalone. And then I got The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. My friend Ina loves this book. It's a romance book, and I like a romance now and then. I actually brought it with me to Barcelona to read. Haven't got around to it yet, but I think I will very soon. Then I got Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. So I recently realised that one of my favourite tropes in books is sentient weapons and objects. And so I put out a call to everybody who follows me on Twitter for any books that they know have that trope. And Sword Heart was one of the most recommended ones, and so I bought it naturally. And then the other book that I also bought because of people's recommendations was Elric of Melniboné Volume 1, because apparently that has a sentient weapon in it too. So I bought that as well for the same reason. Then I got Misery by Stephen King. I've been wanting to read Stephen King for a while now. I've read one of his books, 11/22/63, I think it is. But I wanted to get maybe one of his more creepier books. And Misery is quite new, so I thought I would give that a go, and it's quite short. Then I bought the split editions of the Stormlight Archive books, the UK ones, when they're split between part 1 and part 2, because I had the US hardbacks, but they are chunky and you cannot take those with you anywhere. I mainly bought those though for the art, not to actually read. it was always my intent to get the UK split paperback editions, and I finally bought them. So I got them for Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, Rhythm of War, and Oathbringer. I think that's it. They look really nice on my shelves now. And then I got Butcher's Crossing by John Williams, which was a gift from my friend Lorne. Lorne and I have been doing quite a few buddy reads recently, and we have super similar tastes. Like every single book that he's recommended to me, I have loved it. And I've recommended him a few books as well, and I think he's generally enjoyed them. So he got me that. He's the one who recommended me Stoner. So he also bought me Butcher's Crossing, which I'm really looking forward to reading. Then he also got me a book that I've been dying to read, but I've just never purchased it quite yet. And that is A Congregation of Jackals by S. Craig Zahler. Now, I think it's like a grimdark western from what I understand, but I've heard the character work is like phenomenal. So I'm really excited to pick that up. And then he also bought me Watchmen, the deluxe edition by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. Reason being is because he and I have also been talking about comics, and he recommended Watchmen to me, and so I added it to my list, and he ended up buying it for me very kindly. I think I'm going to get to that one next before I get to Fables, because it's a lot shorter. And I also want to watch the Watchmen TV show, so I think it's best to read the comic then watch the show. So that's my current plan. And then I got The Martyr by Anthony Ryan, which is the second book after The Prior, I think it is. And this was the Goldsboro edition, and it's another really pretty edition. And then while I've been in Barcelona, I bought 2 books, not that many as of yet, but it's really funny, my phone is actually stacked on top of it right now. I bought The City and the City by China Miéville. As I mentioned earlier, that is an author that I've been really wanting to get to, and the book is a lot shorter. And then I also got Noor by Nnedi Okorafor. I don't know if I said her name properly, but she is another African author that has been recommended to me quite a lot for like sci-fi, futuristic, fantasy, and I can't wait to pick it up. So those are the only 2 books that I have bought while I'm in Barcelona so far. I'm planning to buy more when I'm in Lisbon, but we'll see. And then I just realised I forgot one book, which I was also sent by the author because it wasn't on my list. I obviously forgot to add it to my list. And that is Hall of Bones by Tim Hardy, which is the first book in the Brotherhood of the Eagle series. This is also self-published. Tim reached out to me and asked me if I would like a copy, and I actually had it on my list to read. So I was like, yes, please. So there we have it. That was a lot of books, and this is quite a long video. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to anybody who's sent me a book, who's bought me a book. I really do appreciate it, and I will get to them as soon as I can. And as for my spending habits, they've definitely gone down a lot, to be honest, since I've been traveling, and I don't really expect to buy too many books in the next couple of weeks, though I could be wrong. I say that now, but I could definitely be wrong. So there we have it, folks. Thanks for watching this really long video about which books I have bought and received. I'm really excited to read all of these naturally, otherwise I wouldn't have bought them. But thanks for sticking with it, and let me know if you've bought any exciting books recently. I'm always curious, like, what is on everybody's mind and what is everybody picking up, because I feel like I buy a lot of like books that have been published years ago. So I'm curious if there's any like new releases as well that you've purchased. So let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, folks. As always, stay safe, take care, and I will speak to you soon.